Hi everyone, quickly I would like to let you know the difference between the IELTS IDP and then the IELTS British Council. Of course, I understand the fact that you have heard about these two types of IELTS, the one organized by IDP and the one organized by British Council. So the question is, what is the difference between these two? Well, I want to tell you that there are no differences. Of course, no differences between the two. IDP IELTS and British Council IELTS are the bodies that are organizing the IELTS itself. The IDP, which is known as the International Development Program, is actually one body organizing the IELTS. Also, the British Council is another body organizing the IELTS. So both actually dance to the tune of the Cambridge Assessment English. So all the rules set by the Cambridge Assessment English, they follow. And a lot of people are actually thinking probably there are differences between these IELTS organized by these different bodies. Well, I want to say that there is no difference. And I think in terms of structure, in terms of organization, in terms of the nature of questions, and even in terms of marking scheme, this exam is actually the same, both for IELTS and British Council. They have the same format. So whichever one it is you eventually choose to do, no problem. You do the IDP, no problem. You do the British Council, no problem. You're going to have the same result if you should, whatever it is you do. They are going to mark you on the basis of your performance, and eventually you get to have the same results. They are going to assess you on the basis of your performance. So I want to say there are no differences per se. However, there are one or two things that actually propel some people to feel like there are certain differences. For example, there was a time that the IELTS exam fee was increased. And in fact, it happened to me directly. I wanted to register someone. And before I knew what was happening, I did the registration for someone like 2 days earlier. And then I wanted to have another person registered that very day, only for me to see that the price already changed. I was very surprised. In fact, last year, 2024, the price of IELTS in Nigeria was actually changed, like the price increased up to 3 times within a very short period of time, within the space of 3 months. And that of IDP also increased, but they put notification on their site. The increment did not take place at the same time. British Council increased the fee, and it was just to the surprise of everybody. But IDP did not increase their fee. They put notification on their site for people to know that you have so days for you to register. After this particular duration of days, then the exam fee will increase. So that was how they actually did it. And people saw that to be a kind of very nice attitude. So they have used that to judge that IDP is very nice. They are very nice. They are good. They are so lenient and things like that. That is just in relation to that part. But any other thing in terms of the standard, in terms of the level of difficulty of the exam, the same thing you have for IDP is the same thing you have for British Council. So if you are thinking of wanting to make a particular choice, whichever you do is just the same. It will give you the same result, whether IDP or British Council. So do not let anybody give you this mindset that, this one is simpler compared to this, or this one is easier compared to this. Both exam run the same. No difference, except in the area I have just talked about. And another instance is there are certain cities whereby you could have British Council IELTS centers, and then you will not have IDP. And there are some places you get to that you have IDP centers and you won't have the British Council. So those are just the differences. But when it comes to the nature of the exam as a whole, it is the same thing. So whichever one you choose, just go for it. And that's it.